Lewis Hamilton's big name has always been synonymous with glory and dominance on the Formula One track. But who would have thought that behind all his successes, the legend's driving style has a frustrating side for a team like Ferrari? A battle full of tension and drama has now been revealed, showing just how difficult Hamilton's mission is to overcome an almost impossible challenge. What exactly is making Ferrari so angry with this world champion? Let's discuss it. In a discussion on the F1 Nation podcast, F1 analyst and former racer Alex Brundle revealed interesting findings after observing Lewis Hamilton's data over the first 5 races of the 2025 season. He keeps talking about bringing the car to him or himself adapting to the car, Brundle said. But there is one thing that is consistent. Lewis hits the brakes with the same force every race weekend. According to Brundle, Hamilton often applies harder brake pressure than Charles Leclerc during the high-speed corner entry phase. His data traces show a perfect straight line between wheel speed, steering and braking, all happening in harmony, but with a slight burst of force that actually disrupts Ferrari's balance. This irritated Ferrari everywhere, says Brundle. The SF25 is a car that demands extreme smoothness and control under braking, and Lewis, with his instinctive aggressive style, is provoking instability in the car. Teammate Charles Leclerc, on the other hand, has been described as Mr. Measured, a master at regulating brake pressure, matching his inputs with divine precision and minimizing disruption to the car's characteristics. Ironically, Hamilton's aggressive style, which once took him to the top of the world with Mercedes, has backfired with Ferrari. Hamilton's battle is not only to beat his rivals on the track, but also to battle his own old habits. The driving habits he has developed over a career spanning more than 2 decades, now the hidden enemy in the cockpit. And the challenge is compounded by the nature of F1's new generation of cars, as McLaren boss Andrea Stella put it. These cars are so fast, says Stella, that drivers don't have time to think. It's all instinct. In a world where fractions of a second make all the difference, that's almost impossible. When Hamilton tries to push his old ways, the car punishes him. If he hesitates, his pace is lost. It is a painful cycle that eats away at his confidence. Brundle describes it as a killer trait in the context of modern performance cars, because you're looking for time in the wrong places and the car punishes you. And it just keeps repeating and making it worse. As of the 5th round of the season, Hamilton has yet to beat Leclerc in a full race. Every qualifying session ends in disappointment. Every post-race interview shows signs of desperation creeping into the champion's psyche. It happens every Saturday, Hamilton admitted in Bahrain after another poor qualifying session. Asked when he expected an improvement, Hamilton's answer was surprising, "I don't know. It hurts." More poignantly, Hamilton insists he can't blame Ferrari's car. It's about adapting, or rather, failing to adapt. Not everything about Lewis Hamilton's arrival at Ferrari has been negative. Behind the glitz and glamour, big changes are taking place at the heart of the team, at its Maranello headquarters. In an exclusive interview with Sky Sports, Charles Leclerc shares his views on the real impact Hamilton has made since joining. According to Leclerc, the 7-time world champion's arrival has opened up new perspectives within the team, bringing a breath of fresh air that was previously rare at Ferrari. His approach is totally different, said Leclerc. Lewis has come to us with a culture from Mercedes. The way we analyze, the way we communicate, everything is new and different for us. Ferrari, historically known for its tradition and conservative approach, is beginning to show signs of change thanks to Hamilton's valuable input. The changes are not about throwing away the past, but adapting to the needs of a new era. It doesn't mean we're throwing away everything that was old, added Leclerc. But Lewis helped us question our old ways. He opened our minds, opened discussions about more efficient ways. In other words, while the on-track results to date may not have fully reflected his potential, Hamilton's legacy at Ferrari could go far beyond trophies and victories. He has left behind the foundations of a cultural change, one that could transform Ferrari for years to come. The one bright spot in Ferrari's bleak season came at the Shanghai sprint race. Amidst intense pressure and rising expectations, Lewis Hamilton, with his immense experience and keen racing instincts, managed to win a dramatic sprint race, his first win with Ferrari. It was a victory that finally broke the ice, but still felt bittersweet in the Ferrari garage. Charles Leclerc, who also competed, could not hide his mixed feelings. It was great to see the potential, but also disappointing because I wanted to be the first to achieve it, he said honestly. For Leclerc, The moment was not just about the podium or points in the standings, but also about his pride and personal determination, which were constantly being tested. Amidst the internal turmoil and personal challenges that Lewis Hamilton was facing, Ferrari was also facing an equally tough technical battle. The great ambition to return to Formula One glory collided with the harsh reality of the track. Their flagship car, the SF25, which had undergone a number of significant updates, still had difficulty competing at the front. Despite all the efforts made, the SF25 was still behind McLaren and Red Bull, and on several occasions had to concede to the superiority of Mercedes, who were trying to recover. Every lap, every race, showed that Ferrari was still searching for answers to complex and interrelated challenges. According to Charles Leclerc, at the beginning of the season, the car's characteristics felt very open, a term used to describe the extreme instability experienced when entering corners. This feeling of uncertainty meant that the drivers had to work extra hard to keep the car on track, especially during critical periods in fast corners. As time went on and more data was collected, the Ferrari engineering team was able to make several improvements. One important step was to reduce the symptoms of understeer in the middle corners. However, as is often the case in the technical world of Formula One, there are no solutions without consequences. While the corrections make the front of the car more responsive, the trade-off is that the car is now much more wild and difficult to control in various conditions. "This is something I like," said Leclerc, smiling with his characteristic enthusiasm. "I like cars that demand total commitment, cars that really force you to take risks and give everything you can." But behind the enthusiasm remains Ferrari's main problem, a lack of grip at low and medium speeds. This is not a minor annoyance, it is a deep wound that comes into its own on technical street circuits, areas where the car's mechanical prowess is truly tested. Ferrari has not been idle. A number of strategic updates have been introduced, including a new floor tested in Bahrain and a new rear wing design unveiled in Saudi Arabia. These updates have brought improvements that have slightly narrowed the gap to their rivals. But the results on paper still fall far short of the team's grand ambition, to consistently challenge Red Bull's dominance. Even Ferrari themselves, for all their hard work, admit that the road to the top is still a long and challenging one. They know that to reign supreme in Formula One requires not just a fast car, but consistency, constant innovation, and boundless confidence every lap, every second. The big dream still burns in Maranello. But for now, they must continue to work in the shadow of the giants, waiting for the right moment to reclaim the throne that has eluded them for too long. The 2025 season is a transitional one, filled with pain, pressure, and incredible challenges for Lewis Hamilton and Ferrari. It is a huge gamble, a bold move filled with the promise of new glory, yet haunted by the shadow of uncertainty and the risk of failure. Each race feels like a test of their resolve, their patience, and their faith in the big decisions they have made. Can Hamilton overcome his old instincts, adapt his driving style, and truly unleash the hidden potential of the SF25? Can Ferrari, under immense pressure and expectation, harness the full legacy of Hamilton's experience and past glory to build a new, more magnificent foundation? Share your thoughts below.